Hi everyone, I'm Pam Fox. Thanks for tuning in. So tonight I'm going to cook a plant-based meal. This is going to be a pasta salad. Just a quick and easy, tasty dish that I happen to like, that I happen to have a few things I'm just going to throw in. So just keep in mind, I just put on a pot of water to boil. So my goal is to be able to throw together dinner in the amount of time it takes to put on a pot, to cook a pot of pasta. So by the time my pasta is ready, everything else should be ready. I mix it and I eat it. So one of the things I get a lot from people is that it's a lot of extra work to be vegan, that it's expensive to be vegan. I get a lot of comments about the fact that I'm vegan. And usually they're just kind of like myths, they're untruths, people just have no idea. So I just want to show you a quick and easy meal that I happen to like that I can throw together. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a lemon tahini sauce, which is a really delicious sauce that I happen to love. I was really trying to be prepared to make sure I had everything here. I have no spoon. I'll use this. So lemon tahini sauce. This is tahini. Tahini is just sesame seeds, like a sesame seed butter. I'm just going to use the rest of this. There's probably about 2 tablespoons in here. I'm just going to finish it off. And lemon tahini sauce, this sauce that I'm making, I'd say there's probably 3 tablespoons in here. I don't really measure things, so do you guys measure things? I don't. My husband gets after me about it because he measures things and he's a much better cook than I am. I hope I don't burn the kitchen down back there. But this is good on a lot of things. Lemon tahini is good on a lot of things. So I'm just going to put in a few ingredients into my little food processor. Lemon, that's tahini. Again, this is sesame seeds, and you can make your own tahini. It's much cheaper and easier and quicker to do it yourself, but we keep it on hand. If you want to make it yourself, just buy sesame seeds. If you've got a Vitamix, you put them in the Vitamix and you make your own sesame seed butter. I'm just juicing this lemon like with a fork. I used to have a great little mesh strainer that I could sit over a bowl, and I lost it. So I just usually, when I juice a lemon like this, I just put all the juice and the seeds right in the bowl, and then I pick them out. I haven't done a mukbang in a long time, and I haven't done that many, so I'm not that great at it. So forgive me. This is a beautiful tea towel that my stepdaughter Chelsea gave to me. I just want to point that out because I love it. And I love my stepdaughter. I got really lucky, you guys. How many of you guys have stepkids? I'm just going to put these seeds off to the side. I should have brought in a little garbage bowl. Yeah, I got really lucky. My stepkids are so loving and so kind. I've never had an issue. I have two stepdaughters, and they are both lovely. And I have a granddaughter. Okay, so lemon juice, half of a lemon, there's about 3 tablespoons of tahini in there. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there just to thin it down. And I'm going to put some, you can put garlic. Sometimes when we make this, you can put it in the food processor or just put a whole clove of garlic in there. I'm just going to add some garlic powder, maybe about a half a teaspoon. This is organic all-purpose seasoning, so it's kind of like a, you know, it's got all your green herbs in there, kind of an Italian seasoning. Just a little bit of that. I don't want one side to get heavier than the other because I might tip. This is just some Himalayan sea salt, or Himalayan salt, excuse me. Sea salt and Himalayan salt are different. I think I hear my water boiling. And then some pepper. And I think, yeah, that's all the ingredients for the sauce. Oh, there goes my sauce. On the person. So high. Full throttle. All right, I'm just going to taste this. Yeah, my water's boiling. I'm going to pause this for just a second. Okay, I'm back. So this is pretty good. I just tasted it. I'm just going to put, since there was so much tahini in there, I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of this lemon right in it. So sometimes when people make tahini sauce, they add olive oil. If you know me, I try to reduce my consumption of oils. Here we go. So I try not to eat a lot of oils. Occasionally I do, but try not to eat very many. And I certainly don't add it to sauces like this. It doesn't need it. The tahini is creamy and it's high in fat already, so. All right, that is good. Just gonna set this to the side and I'm gonna chop up some vegetables. Let's see, we'll start with, so when you make a pasta salad, put in what you love. This is a zucchini squash, something I love. And I'm just going to thinly slice these. So these are all going in raw onto a hot pasta, hot freshly cooked pasta, which will kind of wilt them down a little bit. I am, when my timer goes off, I am going to take the broccoli back and just drop it into the hot water and let it kind of blanch really quickly. So I'm cooking up, I'm slicing up because I've got have to raise my cutting board up so that you can see it on the screen. It's kind of awkward. Okay, so there's that. So I'm just going to put these directly, how am I going to do this? I'm just going to put these directly into my mixing bowl. Couldn't find my favorite mixing bowl, by the way. My yellow Pyrex mixing bowl. It's big like this, and I can't find it, and I'm wondering if it got broken, and nobody's told me about it yet. Okay, so there's that, and I got a little bit of broccoli, so I'm just gonna break these up, and if any are kind of big, I'm gonna chop those up. But these smaller ones are, oh, I don't want to put those in yet because I want to blanch them. Okay. I should have done those mushrooms first. I'm going to set this to the side just for a second. Got some little mushrooms that I've rinsed. And I'm going to just slice these up. So when you're making your pasta salad, one, if you're gluten-free, there are lots of wonderful options out there for you. Two, if you're grain-free, if you don't do grains, this meal is just as good on boiled potatoes. Just boil some potatoes, add in your vegetables, add your sauce. It's very delicious and it's very satisfying because of the potatoes. You get really just full and satisfied and you just feel so good when you're done filling yourself up on a delicious, satisfying meal. I'll feel that way about this as well. It'll be very satisfying. I do just regular pasta. I try to buy organic pasta. Sometimes I do gluten-free pastas just to try them. I like rice pasta. I like corn pasta. I think they're very good. Usually they're a bit on the spendy side, so I usually just get the organic pasta at Costco because you can get like a big bundle of, 6 packs of pasta in, one package. Okay, and so then I love black olives. I also love green olives. I love Kalamata olives. And that's about it. Have you guys ever been to those olive bars where they have all the different like jalapeno stuffed and blue cheese stuff? I don't like any of those. I've tried them all. I just like regular old green pimento stuffed olives. Those are probably my favorite. I love Kalamatas and then just these plain old fashioned black olives. Okay, so I'm just gonna drain the juice out of the can. Oh, if this goes over, it's going to be funny. And I'm going to put about half a can of olives into my pasta salad. Just going to chop these up. Just kind of having these. Like so. Get my bowl back here. So when it comes to plant-based eating, experiment. really you're learning how to cook all over again. And so experiment. This is like pickled asparagus. These are good. I need to use these up. They've been in the fridge for a while. These are really good in sushi rolls. I'm just going to use the last of these. So in sushi rolls, these are pickled. I love anything pickled. In sushi rolls, you just lay them, you know, down with your carrot and your avocado and your cucumber, and then these add just a little bit of tang. They're wonderful. So this, you could really be versatile with it. You don't have to do a lemon tahini sauce. You could do more of an Italian vinaigrette with vinegar and your favorite spices. My daughter makes a really good Mexican pasta. I don't know what made her think of that, but it's really, really good. And so she puts, you know, all the typical things that you would put in Mexican food, you know, like your cumin and your chilies or your chili powder, that kind of stuff. This is just flat leaf parsley. I think I need a little bit more than that. I'll do a little bit more. And then the last thing I think that I'm going to add is some spinach, just because I want to use up what I have. So we'll throw that in there. So when my timer goes off, that means the pasta is ready. I think I'm going to make it. So this is just a handful of spinach. I'm just going to chop it up, kind of like the parsley. I wonder how many times people like cut themselves when they're doing these mukbangs. I've never seen it happen, but it would be kind of funny. All right, so where'd that spatula go on the floor? Hang on. Ugh. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of toss this around. So I got a lot of great veggies in here. Nutritious and delicious. Some red bell pepper would have been really good in here. Would have added a little bit more color. And I'm gonna I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna go drop that broccoli into the water. Pause. Okay, so here we have the pasta and the broccoli. And the reason I dumped the broccoli in there is just because I like it that way. I like raw broccoli too, but I prefer it just slightly blanched, you know. It brings out the bright color. It just softens it just a little bit. So I don't know if I put it all in there, I'm not going to be able to stir it. So let's try this. How's that look? It really needs something red. Some red bell pepper would have been good. I don't have any. I thought I had, what do you call it? Some roasted red bell peppers in the fridge, but I don't. And where's my sauce? Here's my sauce. So this is the lemon tahini. I'm going to reserve a little bit of that. And that's it. So I have the house to myself tonight. I definitely am not hungry enough to eat this whole bowl of pasta. There have been days where I have been known to eat entire bowls of pasta, which is one of the really fun things about being vegan is this strange sense of pride that I have in my ability to eat really large volumes of food. So it's kind of hot, and that's just going to kind of steam that squash and the mushrooms a little bit. So yeah, I am going to eat in front of you. This is a mukbang. It's good. So for those of you that are new to mukbang, I believe it's Korean. Muk meaning broadcast, and bang meaning food, to broadcast food. I love mushrooms. And in mukbangs, we're allowed to talk while we eat with our mouth full, which is kind of fun. So I had a huge lunch today. I had I literally just threw a bunch of leftovers into a bag and took them to work thinking this probably won't be very good, but it's all I've got. It was some leftover Spanish rice, no beans, a half an avocado, excuse me, some store-bought salsa, some blue corn tortilla chips, and an ear of corn, and a couple handfuls of lettuce. I just mixed that all together in a bowl. It was really good, and it was so satisfying. I'm not that hungry. There goes my towel. Excuse me. So I was saying earlier that a lot of times people will say that being vegan must be really expensive. I would do it, but I can't afford it. And that's true and it's not true. So if you're going to be a raw organic vegan and you're going to eat nothing but raw organic food, then yeah, it's going to be really expensive. I feel like this is missing something, but I'm not sure. I think it's the pepper. Celery would be good in this too. A little bit of crunch. But yeah, I had a woman once, a registered nurse. I was giving a talk actually for the Associated Alumni of University Women, something like that. And afterwards during the Q&A, a registered nurse asked me, I was talking about veganism and she asked, more people would be vegan if it weren't so expensive. It's just not practical. And I tried to explain to her, think about it. Think about all the things you're not buying when you're vegan. You're not buying any meat, dairy, and eggs. I mean, that alone is going to save you a ton of money. And things like pasta and potatoes and rice and beans. Bananas. They're some of the cheapest foods on the planet. So your staples are pretty cheap. Like tahini. Tahini is expensive. I just bought a can tonight to replace this one. I was at the store tonight. Here goes my towel again. And it was on sale for $4.99. It was a good deal. But I wouldn't say it's more expensive. Depending on what type of vegan you are. Raw till 4, that's expensive. I did that for 9 months when I first began being vegan. And it was expensive. Because you eat only raw food for breakfast and lunch. And a lot of it. So, yeah, it's not cheap. And then what was the other thing? It's expensive and it's just too hard. Oh, and then the other thing too about it being expensive is just thinking all the money you save on healthcare costs. And that's what I told her. And she's like, well, you got a point there. I mean, if you don't have to go to the doctor anymore and you don't have to have medications anymore, no surgeries, you're going to save some money, right? Close up. I love flat leaf parsley. I think it makes any dish taste better. So anyway, Dwayne's at a concert tonight with a friend of his. I can't wait till he gets home so I can find out what happened in my bowl. I used to have the most amazing collection of Pyrex bowls. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like they come in different colors on the outside and they're old. They're like from the 50s and 60s. That green bowl I just had up here was a Pyrex bowl. So the one I'm talking about was yellow. And I have very few. I have like 2 or 3 of the green medium-sized bowls. I had 2 of the yellow larger bowls. and then a couple others. But I used to have, I don't know if you guys can see this shelf behind me. You can usually see it, but I've got the camera up high. There's a suspended shelf back there that actually Dwayne built for me, or for us. And we displayed our collection of Pyrex bowls on there that we've been collecting since we got married. When he and I got married in 2011, I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these Pyrex bowls, and then we started collecting them when we'd go to antique stores and garage sales. We had quite a collection going. Anyway, one day, Dwayne and I were both home, and we heard this loud crash. And I knew what it was instantly because it was really loud, and it just sounded like somebody dropped like a truckload of dishes. That suspended shelf, when he bolted it into the ceiling, into the stud, on one side the bolt just wasn't long enough, or it didn't go in far enough, whatever, but it just, after it had been up there for a couple of years, it just fell. And all of our dishes fell on the floor and broke. It was devastating. No, it wasn't. I got over it really quick. It was just like, easy come, easy go. I mean, my heart was broken a little, but, and 3 or 4 of them survived. I think they were in a cupboard, the ones that survived. All my favorite ones, though, that we had out on display, they're gone. So, this video is getting really long. I would like to impress you guys and eat this whole bowl. I was saying before about how I have this strange pride and how I can eat a lot of food, and the reason is because, you know, I've spent most of my adult life just trying to portion control and calorie restrict and just feeling so guilty when I overeat. And now I eat as much as I want at every meal, and all I do is either lose weight. I haven't really lost any weight for the last year. I'm really just maintaining the weight that I am, which I'm happy with. So I eat copious amounts of food and I don't gain weight, and it's just a crazy thing. It's just like, how could I eat this much food? And it's because it's so much lower in calorie than the foods I was eating before. Even though something like tahini is a higher calorie food, the rest of this is low calorie food. The olives are a little bit higher in calories. But overall, there's no meat, dairy, and eggs in this, which makes it much lower in calories. And there's no oil, which is really high in calories and fat. A little bit of pickled asparagus. This adds a little zing. I love anything pickled. Fermented foods, that's my thing. Olives, sauerkraut. Kimchi is too hot for me, or I would like it, but usually it's too hot. I have some mild kimchi, and even it's a little too hot. So I think I'm going to eat a little bit more of this. I don't know, I'll probably be lazy tonight and watch TV to have the house to myself. Should probably get some work done. But yeah, I'm just here to encourage you guys to try this recipe, a rendition of this recipe. Go online and look up plant-based recipes. If you look for plant-based recipes, you will find them. Thousands of them. They're not hidden. All right, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching.